there has been a culture, not even a culture, I think it's it worries me where we see a lot of women today. I think it's popular on TikTok and Twitter and all of that. Something called the BBLs, women prioritizing more of how they look and less of their character, where the slay queen thing has become a thing. An iPhone with a what do you call that? Frontal, you know, frontal and whatever. And I'm worried is it not in a way disempowering women to a point where I think to some men, they start to see them as just sexual objects that they can just reward with flashy lifestyle. Does it not self-defeat the purpose of empowering women and ensuring that we have mothers tomorrow, we have sisters tomorrow, we have grandmothers tomorrow, who are then able to nurture and grow the future generations going forward?
Yeah. Sure. It's actually not a simple scenario that you've painted out, because I firstly want to acknowledge the agency of women, even if they're young women, to do with their bodies as they like in terms of their constitutional right. So I never want to say to women, do this, do that, because I don't want to impose on that. If you're wearing a frontal, if you're enlarging whatever you enlarge, the Constitution says you are permitted to do
that. It's your
as
body.
you will. It is your body. So I don't want to infringe on that, and I don't want to put a moral stamp of approval or disapproval on what they do. So that's the first part.
Yes.
The second part is I do see it as an economic indicator as well. I do see it as a sign of power dynamics, in that we as women still compete for the attention of men, because we understand that the upward trajectory of our lives is still very much heavily dependent on how men view us. And if I'm going to get out of my two-room house in Naledi, where I live with my grandmother, it's going to happen through a man. And for that man to see my value, I'm going to have to be as light as it can get in terms of complexion. I'm going to have the weave and the buttocks and everything that comes with it. So it is a sign of where we are at the moment. It's also a sign of our socialization and enculturation, in that the value that we bring as women is still very much attached to how we look and how we present ourselves to the world. There's a song, or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So it's a commodity, and I say this as a
yellow bone.
and also fully conscious of the privilege that comes with that. I'll never deny and say, no, we're the same, we're equal. Yes, definitely, we're the same, we're equal in value. But the society in which we live has made it so that it places value on the lighter you are, the bigger your bum, and the more fluent you are in English, right? That's the currency. The currency goes up based on that. And women then realize that it's easier and quicker for me to advance and get ahead in life if I lean more on that than if I go and do the hard work of trying to building exactly, and going to corporate, etc. So it is a sign of the times that we're living in. And unfortunately, as you do say, it does corrode our value. It does corrode our somebodyness, as Dr. Martin Luther King would say, because the extent to which we will go to try and progress in life is damaging both to ourselves, to our health as well. I don't know the medical things, what it does to your body, but I don't think it's a good thing, you to constantly do that. I heard from a medical professional who said, whatever you take from one part of the body to put to another part, or foreign agents, etc., it does bring about chemical imbalances in your mind, etc. It does damage us. It does also have an impact even on the young men, for example, because you have young girls who are hypersexualized. We've got this, we've got the boobs. We're dating older men who take advantage of us. The young boys are now seeing this. They get rage and anger, etc. They no longer can interact with their age mates, so they go for younger girls because the older men are dating their girlfriends. You know what I mean? And then when they get destroyed by the older men and they contract HIV and the like, which we know it's a fact that there's a higher rate of HIV infection among adolescent teenage girls in sub-Saharan Africa. It's a fact.
Sure.
Because they get it from the men. And then when they get disappointed in those relationships, the wives of those men then get HIV at that level. These young girls get HIV at that level and all manner of STIs. They then, when they're no longer satisfied, and the young boys who were too young for them then are now growing. They're living. Now when we get to our 30s, because our 20s were wasted with the older men. Now then there's that cross infection, and the younger men now that we've destroyed their self-image, because when we were 20, and so they
now they don't trust love anymore. They don't trust
love
anything
anymore. They become narcissistic. They become angry at women. They will show you. That's why men are the prize this day. That's not scriptural. You know, the Bible will tell us that he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor with the Lord. But these days, he who finds a man finds a good thing.
Because we are told even you don't just say hi, you leave her.
You leave her. They no longer chase, they no longer pursue. We know our value, our worth, but we damage them as teenagers because it was
can't give me nothing.
Exactly. So we've torn apart the fabric of our society. We've destroyed it. And the BBLs and all of those are just a manifestation of what was broken a long time ago. So they then in their 30s with their polos, etc., do what? They recreate what they saw. They will go for Banabaskolo and all those things. Ditakata Rona now in our 30s and our 40s. And there are no good men left anymore. There are no good men.
I love my son. My man.
The head of the house is my son. Head of the house is my son. You know. So our society really, really is broken. We have fatherlessness like you can't believe.
True.
There are other people from outside countries who say that we've never seen anything like this before in our lives. We don't have a phenomenon where umitisa umuntu and they get pregnant and nobody knows who the dad is. We just don't have that thing. Even if you're not together with the guy, the families will know this is our child.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Anyone, everyone. And it's a symptom of something that broke